And we're live.
Hey!
What?
We're live.
Oh, live.
Live.
It says we're live right here.
Oh, yeah.
Hello! Signs lit and everything.
Oh,
Guys,
wow.
well,
We're
the
back.
sign's lit? Yes.
We're back.
We're
Hey
back.
everybody,
Hi.
we are Pints and Pistons, and tonight we have a very special guest, Brian.
Two legs. The one, the only that we always talk about. We got Brian one legs, we got Brian two legs. That makes Brian three legs.
It's 3 legs of Brian.
Three legs of Brian.
And Brian has one of the most crucial businesses in our hometown here, Crystal River Fast Lube.
And repair.
And repair. And
He does water pumps.
I
and
do.
I know that. I know that. And
he's
clutches also.
he's also a die-hard car guy and a solid businessman and knows what he's doing and has been around for a long time, and we're very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for
I was
coming.
gonna
Good
say,
to be
it
here.
only took 150 freaking episodes.
150.
And also, like, guys, that's another big thing tonight. It's 150. Not only has it been 6 years, it is our 150th episode. Like,
That's awesome.
holy moly. Like,
Yeah.
holy moly.
What have we done with our lives?
I don't know.
This right
I
here.
don't
This is
know.
what we've done.
Yeah, we can do beer.
6 years.
Dude,
Wow.
we have,
Yeah.
guys, we have outlasted a lot of, like, TV shows.
That's
Like,
true.
episodes.
That's
And
true.
marriages, you know, 150
Yeah.
days. Yeah, we got this. We got this. So let me grab the first beer, but yeah, mingle amongst yourselves.
Yeah, we will try. Episode
150.
150.
150 times.
At this point, it's just like, you know what? Just update the beer list as we go. It's the easiest way to keep track of it.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know Jaguar is making cars?
Desperately
No, they're
trying
not.
to make itself go broke.
No, they're not. They've quit making cars. They're making commercials, I think,
I don't know.
and they're putting out drawings.
I don't know what that meant.
They're basically doing NFTs without the price tag.
I watched it, but I don't know what it means.
It's
Yeah.
that commercial from the 80s of the guy that runs in and throws the snow globe at the TV and breaks the
Yeah.
TV or whatever it was.
No, it wasn't anywhere near that creative.
It's what? It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's nowhere near that creative.
I
don't
was
think I've seen it.
You're not missing much.
no, I was very. It was a bunch of people like
In weird clothes.
and weird clothes, weird hairstyles, dancing, and
Wait. I think I have seen it.
and
Yes.
then like they
yeah, all
they
like
showed,
oranges
like,
and reds and
emblem
weird
and-
hair,
Yeah,
and then
it's
just
like Jaguar. I was like, what? That had nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
I don't
I
know.
didn't see that.
What is that?
This is Chris.
That is a local
Thank you.
brewery from near Helen, Georgia that I found.
What?
Cool brewing. Moving people.
I'm getting excited.
So it's from Jekyll Island, Georgia.
I am excited.
It was one of those. This
Hard
was lowest APV. So
Brewed and canned in Alpharetta, Georgia. JekyllBrewing.com.
Hard pour.
And there's a
send.
small read in here I'll do. What better refresher than flavors of juicy sweet tangerine and a wheat beer with a hint of coriander? Our answer is Moon People.
Whoa! Take a woof of that.
So it's a tangerine wheat beer.
Tangerine wheat.
I smell tangerine and wheat.
Yeah, I am excited. All right. Update.
Chris, you can be rough on it if you want to.
Yeah, it
I'm
reacted.
only pouring a portion, so.
Well, all right then, gentlemen.
Yeah.
To 150 episodes and to
Two
like Brian
episodes.
coming on. Slancha.
Kanpai. Salud.
Jude. Gin?
that smells really good.
Oh, that's delightful.
Oh,
Oh.
It is pretty good.
oh, I'm sad now because I can't
yeah.
get more of this.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I didn't
where
realize
is Shelby
that you
tonight?
said.
Huh?
Where is Shelby?
Coriander.
She is up in Gainesville right now. She's
Doing
doing a
birthday
celebration for her birthday. with her
Karaoke.
Oh, okay.
friends. They're doing
Dinner and karaoke.
karaoke.
Hey, Daniel's Motorworks. Congratulations on 150 episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. Do you have?
Yeah, yes. Shot caller karaoke.
Shot collar karaoke? That would make
No.
it interesting at least.
That was a bit that I think it was one of the afternoon guys on 98 Rock used to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Collar karaoke.
Oh, that was fun. So, in big news. Big news.
Big news,
U-Haul
everyone.
has a new trailer.
It is called the Toy
Toy
Hauler.
hauler.
Oh, yeah?
We need to back up just a little bit because up until recently, These two were unaware of the greatness of the U-Haul auto transport trailer, all 2,200 pounds of it.
Yeah.
They did not know that the fender would flip down out of the way to open the door.
But apparently not on all of them, though. Seriously, apparently not on all of them. They do that.
They have a slightly smaller trailer that doesn't, but the full-on auto transport that you rented to get from when we did Shipbox Rescue, all of those have the flip-down fender and the hydraulic brake.
Your guys' pure excitement for U-Haul trailers gets me excited.
The reason why I say that
Just
is
saying.
because Mercedes said that sometimes those right-hand...
Wait, what? Mercedes?
Why
is Mercedes involved
Mercedes
in this?
from Autotopian said that, and
About
she's
U-Haul trailers?
She is the RV trailer fucking person, is she not?
She's right, yeah.
And
if it's weird RVs or smart cars. Weird RVs and smart cars.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was
said
like a little
sometimes-
subcategory,
Sometimes
though.
the right fender doesn't come down to where, like, you can't really load a car on those auto transports backwards for weight distribution and all that, because trying to get that fender down sometimes won't work.
Yeah, but the thing is, only the driver's side fender goes down.
Mm-hmm.
The right side fender is fixed.
Oh, yeah. So it's one of those, if you load it backwards, yeah,
Yeah.
that you can't.
But yeah, the U-Haul auto transport.
This is news to
Yeah.
me.
Okay, so you know
Oh my.
you know the rubber pull straps on a Jeep hood to open that up.
Yeah.
That's what
The U-Haul
I mean,
trailer has two of those.
I've
You
always-
pull
I've
them
just
things
always
up,
used
and the
car
fender just
dollies.
goes whoop.
I've never used one of the full
Me
trailers.
an auto hauler for the F-150. You're like, no, you can't tow this with an F-150.
We towed it with a Ranger.
I can't.
What?
I can't.
They refused to rent me a car hauler with towing it with an
Yeah,
F-150.
I can't
Why?
stand that.
We also figured out that it's 2,800 pounds. Like,
22.
right,
22.
When
It was a while
It was-
ago.
was it with the silver
17,
one?
18.
So it
Yeah.
was with the silver one,
Yeah.
but still, you should have.
when I went to go to
I came prepared.
Which one did you go
oh
to?
shit!
The one in Holder there.
So the
I have
one
readers.
the
Glasses.
one
I have
to
readers.
go to, and Chris can vouch for me, right there on Grover Cleveland by Jackie Berry's
Okay,
house.
yeah.
And
Yep.
that place, the people are
Yeah.
wonderful. Like, seriously, they are some of the nicest people. He will go to bat for you, like, on U-Haul related stuff.
Nice.
And also he's like, yeah, bring it back. It needs to be back by 3, though, because I have somebody renting it. But was he not awesome?
Oh, he was great.
cool.
Amazing.
When I
Absolutely
went to
My
amazing.
question is, did they give you a specific reason why?
No.
Well,
They
see,
just-
that's
They
when
said
I
that
went
they
to
were
the
not allowed to rent them to F-150s.
when I
I'm
went to
Look at
that
the aluminum body F-150s.
That's
so,
why.
Yeah.
when I went to the True Value on 44 there, I told them when I was getting the RX-7, I was going to get it, and they wouldn't give me a car dolly. They were like, "You have to get a whole car trailer," and I'm like, "Well, I just want a car dolly." Well, that's a rear-wheel drive car. And I'm like, "I'm gonna disconnect the drive shaft." Well, we don't know that you're going to be capable of that. No. And I'm like,
Well,
I literally.
But you gotta give it to them on their standpoint from a business side. You could say that you're going to, and then you're not
Yeah.
going to, and then
I went back an hour later and I said I was getting a Ford Focus. And I got a different person and I got my car
But-
dolly. And I went and
but
got the
still-
R7.
But
Because some dumbass crashed his shit and sued him. And now
Exactly.
That's why we
That's
can't
fair.
do it.
That's
so,
fair.
So
That's
it's one
fair.
of those
That's
you can't put that on them at that point.
Once again, this is
Yeah.
one of those situations where we should just take the warning labels off of everything and let Darwin sort it out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay, so you looked that up, did you? Were you looking up the U-Haul thing?
No.
Because I want to know the aluminum body thing. I'm genuinely curious.
well,
Yeah,
while,
I was
while-
looking
while
at your
you,
list.
while you do that,
It's called the 2025 U-Haul Toy Hauler.
well, no, he's
20
talking about the aluminum F-150 thing. So the brand new trailer it hasn't come out yet. It's going to be, I think, summer of 2025. It is.
But you can rent a toy hauler.
So
That's
it
pretty
is
cool.
now all aluminum, solid. There's no break in the middle, so that way, and it also has 3 ramps, so you can
That's
pull
pretty
3
sweet.
It comes
trailers
with
on.
3
Sweet.
either 8-foot or 12-foot ramps. So you
And
can like
it's,
load.
It's 22 feet.
These are the kind of things they should
I-
they should have
it's-
invested in this in a long
It's either
time ago. Like
20
it's
to
actually a really
22
good idea.
20 to 22 feet, so it's longer than the regular auto transport.
Yeah.
It's slightly lower. The wheel arches are steps, so you look at them, they
Stepped
kind of look
aluminum.
like pyramids and that.
That's pretty
So
cool.
that way, if you have a wide, because the auto transport, if it's more than 6.5 feet wheel track, you can't put it on there.
Yeah.
This makes it so if you have a bigger SUV or truck, you are able to drive over to
Put it in
like you're not going to bottom out or all that, but you're able to drive
Yeah, like I
over
said,
those
they
steps.
say you can drive over the wheel wheel arches.
Yeah, but a normal car will fit between them.
In between them.
But also with it being solid and not having the middle missing out of it, you can fit the K cars and all that stuff, and also now the trikes.
Motorcycles,
Yeah.
trikes,
Yeah.
anything
Hey,
you need
hey,
Like
to
I said,
tow.
it comes with 3 pull-out ramps. They're either 8 foot or 12 foot long.
I think they're
like
8 foot,
aluminum
or
ramps.
even.
I'm just looking
I
at
think
it
they're
going,
even
that's
10.
going to be the cheap way to get the
Well,
F-150.
it's one of those. It is going to be more expensive than the So the auto transport right now is $54.99 a day.
Yep.
And that, so it'll probably be 70 to 80, but it has more tie down spots. Currently, the auto transports you have to it's only the front wheel tie down,
and then
This
it
has
just comes with
multiple-
just chains and hooks that
Yeah.
you loop over the axle.
Yeah,
It doesn't
Well,
come
no,
with
not even an axle. It just wraps over the tire.
yeah.
And
That's
then we
No,
had
the
for
front
the
ones.
rear.
For the rear, it just
Oh,
had
yeah,
the,
for
it
the
just
rear.
had
It's
the
got the safety chain that
Yeah.
wraps over the axle.
but the front tires is just that's the only main
That's like the net
strap
thing,
down.
yeah.
But if you're going to a track day, you have no spot to put your tires, stuff
Anything
like
else?
that.
Yeah.
This new trailer
Well,
will
and
make it.
for-
You put a normal
If
car
you got a
on there.
4-wheeler, you do dirt bikes or stuff like that too.
yeah.
Like,
It's got
that's
it's
very
got tie down,
versatile.
it's got tie down
Yeah,
spots
it's
for all
got-
kinds of
it's
stuff.
That's
got
really
tie-downs
rad.
And they
everywhere.
call it the toy hauler.
They,
toy hauler.
yeah. They should have banked on this a long time ago.
Exactly. That's what I was
Yeah.
going to say. Should've
Right?
been one. They should have been doing it already.
But- but
Fun
the
fact about the auto transport trailers, though. When they're at the end of their service life, unlike the box trucks and everything else, they do not sell those to the
all
public.
trailers.
No,
all
they
trailers
destroy
are-
them.
Yeah, because that is a U-Haul specific.
Yeah, the
thing.
auto transport is
Yep.
they're destroyed.
Can't get
So
one.
many little things.
But
well, even
it-
their box trailers and stuff, they destroy
Yeah,
those when
yeah,
they're
it's
done.
all trailer stuff like that. They do that.
Well, enough people have stolen those that I've seen
Yeah.
Right.
decommissioned U-Haul trailers. running
I've seen
around.
people take them and fucking weld the diffs on them, and then do donuts and return it to U-Haul.
well, no, those are the trucks and all that. That they'll sell.
No, the box trucks too.
Well,
I've
yeah,
seen,
yeah, oh yeah. No, $19.99, you can get yourself a new RV.
You know the stories about the old Hertz rent-a-racers. People would rent the car and yank the motors out of them and put a regular 289 back in them and take
Yeah.
them back and all that kind of
You're
stuff.
Well, that's how you
you're,
could get
you're
a-
one
that's-
ABS fuse away from a good time.
Well,
in a
no, I was
1995
wondering
Silverado.
how many people have rented
A lot.
a
lot.
U-Haul van
A lot.
and yanked the 6-liter
The 6
out, thrown a
and put
4-point
four
brake.
back in there.
A
Yeah.
lot to where there's been YouTube videos because of it. And it's
And
one of
there's
those.
also a thing now, though, that U-Haul, so every time it goes in, they now
Good
have
evening,
the serial
Mike.
numbers on the engine check.
Yeah. Because of
Because that
Yeah.
happens so many
Like I
times.
said,
Like it happened back in the day with Hertz rental with the GT350s
It was
and all
rumored.
that.
It was rumored to have happened.
No, it had.
I'm
happened.
sure
but
one
see,
person
the-
did it,
The U-Haul
but
thing.
then the rumors spread to where
Well,
everybody
no,
did.
The thing is about the
U-Haul
U-Haul thing
really
is
happens.
these happened,
Yeah.
and people are dumb enough that
They get
they
caught.
have documented all of their shit.
Yeah,
There's
'cause-
been so many people who have done that with U-Haul vehicles and swapped motors or
Yeah, 'cause-
transmit
'cause
or
it's-
even parts in general.
Well, it's one of those. You get it. You get the 6-liter. Boom. You pull the 6-liter out. You got your 4.8. You put a 4.8 in there. Boom. Now you got a 6-liter.
Or
50,000
you-
miles on it.
Yeah,
or-
well,
or
it
you
doesn't
have-
matter. You got that 6-liter for
Or-
1995
or-
because everything else is mileage based.
Yeah.
If you just drove it really quickly to your house, you do that, drive it back.
Or these guys, they have
30
like clogged
bucks, you
cats
got
or
a
something like
6-liter.
that. They'd swap out like headers and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and like, oh, the check engine light popped on, so I'm bringing it back to you guys. Can you give me another U-Haul or something like that?
Uh-huh.
And then, yeah.
Well, figure
I mean,
you got a 2020 vehicle, and one of these rental cars is the same make model,
Of yours.
right?
You can wrench on it.
Your tires are all worn
I
out.
was just gonna say even
You
tires.
go rent the car for $20 for the day.
Hold on.
You
hold
drive
on.
it back to your
Allegedly.
house.
Allegedly.
You drive it back to your house, swap all 4 tires and rims, drive it back, be like, yeah, I don't know why that TPMS light's flashing, but here you go.
So
I
this is
paid
Pints
for the insurance on it.
This is Pints and Pistons saying that
we do not condone
and
fraud.
This is
Legal disclaimer time.
This is hypothetical thinking that if something like that would have happened, we do not condone anything like that. Please do not do that. If you do not videotape yourself doing it.
Don't videotape.
And
But can we
just
still agree that
stop.
the world's fastest car is a rental car?
It is.
The world's funnest car is a rental car with
with
insurance.
insurance.
Even though my favorite rental car was that little Nissan Micra with like 80 horsepower or whatever, still, I beat the ever-loving absolute dookie out of that car.
No, 2-wheel drive Jeep.
Yeah,
Just-
two-wheel drive Jeep Liberty.
Whoa!
There's a whole ass forest right out there.
Well, when I found out in Ireland that like the cops have to take radar like posted places, I was like, dude, I can go however fast I want, wherever I want. Okay, and I launched that thing from every street light. I like clutch jumped at 5,000.
Because that's what one does.
It was a rental car.
It's a rental car. It's not
Yeah.
mine.
I paid for the insurance.
Exactly.
So I went on the internet and saw something else today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Everybody knows what truck nuts are.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes!
Lightning ones. The lightning one.
The
And
wire nuts.
I gotta give that guy.
Somebody
like a
has
round of
come up
applause.
with a file that you can download and print on your 3D printer. It's wire nuts
With the cord.
to hang off from your
nice.
electric vehicle.
And so there was a
An
Ford
F-150 Lightning that had two of them hanging down from the back.
and I
Oh.
gotta give that guy like seriously like that. Good.
Speaking of
kudos.
electric vehicle, I want to throw out like something.
Like my throw out bearing.
So, well,
That throw it out.
Throw out bearing has thrown out.
Anyway, I know. Hey, at least
if
I
you
made
had an electric car, that wouldn't matter.
It made it home.
yeah, from something
The electric car
because I
would.
missed a turn and I'm in Southern County.
As of mid-January, the big brand Kia is going to have Tesla adapters in all of their EVs, so you can charge at any.
No, they're
charging
joining the
station.
party then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Ford was giving out NACS adapters for free, and other manufacturers charging a couple $100 for them. I mean, that's the thing. The Electrify America that Nissan that Volkswagen was forced to kind of put in for as part of the Dieselgate thing. Those are shit.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one?
Oh, but did you
Charge
hear?
Point.
Charge point.
Yeah.
Charge points apparently they're
Because
shit.
we sell the charge point chargers, and like we have to sell them at the charge point MSRP and all that.
Yeah,
Did you hear the one? Well, your Mazda and that. The wonderful thing that Mazda and Toyota did. So
What
they
did
have
do again?
they have partnerships.
They've done
again.
a lot of good stuff.
So
They were working on some hydrogen. shit
Mazda
before, but
now has Toyota's hybrid system,
yes.
which will make Mazda's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, because they're going to be linking that up with that new.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you
Guess,
know,
guess,
like-
guess what Toyota gets?
What?
Crystal Soul Red paint.
And
That's the color of Paige's car. I love that color.
That
That's
is
my favorite
that is
color.
an amazing color. For the last 8 years,
That is
any
the
new Mazda that has debuted has been in that color. And if you
That's
haven't
the
seen that color,
CX-5, dude.
it's
the most beautiful.
I'm
red.
not a
Cadillac.
red
I mean,
person.
Cadillac has one that's really, really good.
Sabrina's parents.
Yeah,
car,
that's really
SUV.
good.
It's
but,
like that color.
Yeah.
but no, that
And I'm not a
Mazda
red.
red in the sunlight.
Yeah.
I'm not a red person. I'm not like gonna go out of my way to buy a red car. I normally don't like red.
says
but
the man
that,
wearing the red plaid jacket.
Yeah. But that color is
Amazing.
absolutely amazing.
I'm not gonna lie.
So is currently what is going to be on is the 2025 Toyota Corolla Cross.
Yes.
Not Crosstrek.
No,
Cross.
it's
Corolla
cross.
Cross.
It's like
The-
a big Corolla.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Corolla Cross.
Yeah, it's gonna look
And
good.
You can get it in
Honestly, the
all
Corolla
of that,
hatchbacks, like all of them, look good.
or
to be honest.
you can get when you get the premium, you get it two-tone to where the top of the car, including the pillars, are black, like the gloss tuxedo black, and
That's
that
nice.
and it
Not for nothing.
it looks good.
I-
It looks really,
I
really
only
good.
have one issue with that, and every car I've seen where they've done that two-tone on modern vehicles, where there's no separation on the pillars,
Yeah.
there's literally a line in the paint that you can just drag your
Yeah,
nail into,
yeah.
and that is
Explorers.
awful to me.
Yeah,
But,
Explorers where the color would break.
Yep.
That was
saw-
always bad.
Because Kia does that, and it's like there's like a gap in the paint
Yeah,
right
you feel
there.
the ridge
That's
there,
terrible.
yeah.
I saw a red Cayenne GTS at TJ Maxx over here with red interior. and it kind of
I did too.
bucks.
I did
Yeah?
too. Yes.
I
Oh,
saw Cadillac Lyric today.
Oh, you saw a lyric?
I saw a Lyric.
Was it singing to you? Like,
no, it wasn't. No, it was
The
it
EV
was it
sound
was
is weird.
it was parked in the handicap spot.
Oh, so it was a.
No, it wasn't making any noise,
Okay.
but like I said, I walked by it and the screen was all lit up and everything, so I guess they forgot to turn it completely off. I'm
Maybe,
not really sure.
or maybe it does that at idle. I mean,
You know what I saw this week? The last generation Bonneville with the V8.
Nice.
The,
Nice.
with a blue.
No, it was brown.
Oh, well, maybe.
Brown.
But
those things
like-
are almost impossible to work on now.
oh, I know that. I know.
No,
that.
I
Remember
saw a blue
Kenny's
one.
Impala?
Yeah.
Sounded amazing. Broke
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah.
Do you remember Kenny's Impala?
No.
No.
5.3 front
you
wheel
remember-
drive,
you remember,
baby.
You remember Kenny's Impala?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Wait,
Sounded
did he ever
am-
bring it in to get an oil change or something done?
No, but we had a couple traded in.
Because
At
I
the
know I
dealership.
drove one
But
from
no,
the shop.
Probably
his
the
black,
silver one.
Hey,
It
Mike.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his black one.
Guy
Had-
came,
No, his black one, he had a can. He had all kinds of shit
Can-
down there.
hey, guy came into Napa with an '88 Buick Riata.
Oh, did
Okay.
it have the
First-
CRTV in
The
it?
first touchscreen in a car.
Oh, not, yeah,
In America.
CRT.
In America.
Yeah, did it have the CRT?
Yeah,
touchscreen?
Mazda Cosmo did that in
Riata.
Japan.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
But you
I
got
think
a
they put the
Buick
superchargers,
Riata?
3.8 in them too, didn't they? Or not?
oh yeah,
yeah,
they put that supercharged 3800 and everything.
That's the.
Oh,
sorry,
it did
that's-
have the CRT. Yes. Those
yeah, that
things
was
are so
like
cool.
that was the centerpiece of that car in that.
Yeah, that
those
was
years.
that was the first touchscreen in the United States.
and pop-ups.
Dad
Giant
drove
pop-up.
one of those home from the lot a couple of times because they were trade-ins,
Uh,
and
They're like
I remember
spaceships.
8-year-old me sitting in the seat looking at this big like touch screen in the
And
middle.
you feel
all
the
green,
static
look-
coming off.
Yeah,
of it.
that was the coolest thing in the world to me at that time. It was a spaceship.
yeah.
Hold on, you're telling me that it's got a TV in the dashboard
That I can
and
touch?
I can touch it
Right.
and it'll do stuff? Oh, wow! Like you gotta remember that was before this
Oh,
had
yeah.
ever happened.
It's like I can't touch anything and it does it. Like holy shit.
Like that was Jurassic Park levels of cool.
It was coolness. Yeah.
Remember those fobs were like $200 at the time, and they'll control the locks and the windows. Yeah.
And now our modern cars have touch everything.
Yeah.
Hundreds of
And
different lines of code.
Everyone's like,
and-
can we just
Currently,
hit-
the only vehicle in the United States that is available without a infotainment touchscreen anything
is the GMC Savannah work van.
Yep. Not
They
even
still
the,
make 'em?
Not
Yes.
even the
Where?
not
Here.
So not the Chevy Express because they don't do that anymore. It's just the GMC Savannah. And this is the last year of it.
That's
So
sad.
if you want a 6-liter
That's sad.
toting around 12 people, this is your last year.
Last year.
Look
Even
at
though
look at
the
a GM
MSRP
truck
is-
head unit from like the mid 2000s. That's what it looks like.
Oh,
Hold on, so this is the last year of it?
yeah.
Yes, and it's $56,000 is the starting price.
wow.
That's genuinely a bit of a sad thing to me.
That's
Yep.
what I'm saying.
This
Because-
is your last
Hey,
body
our-
hour.
our delivery
Okay, wait a
van's
minute.
got 300K
That they
on
still
it.
make them, or that they're going to quit making
That
them.
they're gonna quit making.
Okay, just check.
Here's
sad.
why. That is the last of the American work vans.
Yeah.
Like the panel, the
Yeah.
flat-sided fleet van.
And we got one that goes
that,
every
you know,
day,
your
baby.
pool guy drove it, your plumber drives it, your handyman drives
Electricians drove the shit
Oh,
out of it.
everyone.
And see, it's a thing that I've always seen of everybody in America wants a truck, but the thing that is better than a truck is a van, and people have not come to realize that the van can do exactly what a truck can. You can get exactly the same motors and drivetrain that all these trucks have in van form. You can fit those same things of plywood, all that, in the back of a van, and it's enclosed. You don't have to deal with any of like the elements and all
And
that.
again,
Hey.
the step height to get the shit in and out of the van
Is
is normal frickin' height.
Better than a tailgate.
Yeah.
Hey, you know,
Vans
like
are
Not
better
only that,
than...
but all your let's say you are like a handyman or an electrician or a plumber or something, and you load the back of that van up with
You
stuff.
can
You have your side
then you
doors.
shut the doors and you lock it.
Yeah.
Unlike a truck bed where if you're
or
parked at Walmart,
you can have walls.
congratulations,
and
all your stuff's gonna be
pegboards
gone
or
when you get out.
Yeah,
toolboxes,
but like
or
he
all
says,
kinds
also,
of shit.
yeah, you can put
It's
peg
so
doors, all
versatile.
that stuff, and then you have the wonderful thing of you don't have to crawl in through just the back. You open up the side door and bam!
And then the
wham, bam,
inverse
take
of
it,
that.
man.
So take all of that away. What you have is you have a tapestry in which to paint
Yes.
whatever living space you want in the back.
Dragons
however you
and
want.
everything.
Dragons and guys holding
mountains,
swords
swords.
with
Oh.
magical crystal balls hanging around the
Oh,
bottom
that
of their
reminds me,
jeans.
coming up in January is the Freeze for All from the Orlando Street Fans, and we are going again. This time, we do have the Expedition, which is body on frame. Nate said, technically a van, we're going. We're allowed in. We're
Heck
allowed
yeah.
in. Well, we were allowed in.
Because
with
you
the
remember,
bus
I
and
used to
all
have
that.
a van.
Oh, yeah.
I
no.
had a full-size Ford Econoline, Tagula River Customs 1991 convertible. conversion van.
Steering wheel went like this
Yeah,
before you turn.
yeah,
the wheel.
before you
Yeah,
turn.
pretty much.
No, I fixed it.
So
When I first got it, you drove it by feel, by the force. You pinged it this way a little, then you pinged it that way a little, then you pinged it this way, and you just kind of bounced it in the lane.
In between,
the shag carpet, the crushed velour looks better in a van. Oh yeah.
But
yeah,
this
no, we
was
can
a
go-
Tagula
we
River
can go deep on
Customs.
that.
Oh,
which
those
means
are
it
the
was
vehicles that after 50,000 miles they came with their own built-in drunk driver.
Yes.
Does it count that I owned a van that I bought to flip and I didn't have it long and it was a modern van?
You owned it?
I did.
Yeah,
Counts.
counts.
Okay. All right.
But I mean, this thing was high top conversion with the fiberglass high top roof,
yeah.
TV VCR combo in the top of
fucking
it,
great.
mood lighting with wood trim, crushed velour, maroon interior. Everything in this thing was maroon.
Red
So,
on red. Yeah.
Oh
Red, red.
We had a Dodge 1500 van that was it didn't have the raised roof, but it had everything else. It had the ladder rack on the back
Yep.
door. It had the luggage rack on the roof. Again, it had the nice seats. It had the wood trim everywhere.
But it's one of those. You're going on a road trip. What are you taking?
That.
And the best part is the
you
smell.
will be bouncing everywhere, but
And
you
you'll be
will
comfortable.
Do y'all remember the smell that
Yes.
those vans
Oh, yeah.
had?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because they all had that, like, just that
It is the same smell that
odor.
it's the same smell that the 86 has.
Right.
It's one of those.
No.
Like,
The 86 just smells like the 86. Those vans, when they were brand new, had the air of family desperation.
True.
But yeah. That makes me sad that...
They had the smell of, I hope my wife isn't going to divorce me, so let's take the kids on a road trip.
Yeah.
And then
'Cause
my
that's
car
who-
smells like
which
my wife
usually-
divorced me.
Which
Let's go
usually
pick
end up
somebody up
causing
at
the
the bar.
divorce.
I think it's what my RV smells like, and that's based off of vans.
It's
So.
probably the same smell. Yeah.
But
Anyway,
yeah, that's why it makes me sad that they're ending the
Yeah.
van forever.
oh man, the GMC's Savannah is going to be dying. Anyway, let's move on. So, sorry, I had to do that.
We have this guy.
We do.
We have Brian. Brian. We
Two
have
legs.
another Brian. Everybody, well, you're still sitting on a beer.
Yeah.
So, okay. Anyway, let's get into Brian's stuff. So, Brian is here. Crystal River Fast Lube and Repair. Why are you laughing at me? Why?
Because he's looking right at me when he's talking about him.
Hey, you know what's been awesome, by the way, is driving past there every morning and watching the frickin' murals progress
murals,
every
Yes, it
morning.
looks so good, though.
Yeah,
we
'cause-
should have gotten a picture of
Like,
that.
Yeah.
That it looks good too. I'm assuming he's like just about done
He's
with it.
almost done. He's
That's
almost
what
done.
I thought.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
been so cool though.
And he's
'cause,
been
like,
complaining. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm taking so long. I'm like, dude, this you take
Hey,
as long as
it
you
looks
want,
good.
you know?
It
Whenever
looks
you
so
think
good.
You're done. You're done.
And like
Yeah.
every day when I've left too, I've made sure I go to racetrack
shit.
just to like loop around the parking lot and look.
What?
Apparently, there was a plane crash on 19 near the dealerships.
Oh.
The only
What?
thing I can think of, that must have been someone on final at Crystal River.
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah, badass Brian.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see it finished.
So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
you have been at that place for how long now?
Started working there in 1992, October
Oh, God.
92.
So, before I was born.
Yeah.
When Dan was born.
91.
Well, okay, so Dan was a little critter.
Still
He was
whatever.
a little tight.
Yeah. I was still a twinkle in the eye at that point. So, like, you just started, like, was it out of high school, or?
No, I wasn't out of high school. So I had graduated high school whenever, and then I ended up going back to New York for a little bit. Was up there, didn't really like the cold anymore. Came back here.
Don't blame you.
Yep. Had a little bit of money I saved up, so I kind of lived life a little bit for about 5 or 6 months. Spent my last $400 to get a place to live, and seen an ad in the paper for a job there.
Nice.
Went down, got hired right away. I worked the pit for like, 2 years, the lower bay. So
Nice. So how did you come about owning it?
So along the way, the first manager when I started there, he was like stealing from the place. We kind of told the boss about him and got him in trouble. Eventually, people left to where one day the boss came in. He's like, "Well, I guess you're the manager." I'm like, "I don't want to be the manager, I'm just a wrench turner. I don't want nothing to do with being a
Kind of
manager."
like me at work.
You know?
Shit, I'm the boss. Fuck.
I felt that before.
Do your thing, guys.
Yeah. So I became manager. People kind of come to love me there. They thought it was my place.
Mm-hmm.
Then it come about, it was like 2001. This guy comes in, introduced himself to me. He's like, I'm buying the shop. I'm like, fuck, I didn't even know it was for sale, you know? Like, okay. So he takes me out to dinner that night. He's like, you know, seeing everything I do for the money I was making.
Yeah.
What the first guy was paying me, like double my salary.
Oh shit.
Took me to manager training school in Texas, you know, for lube techs and everything. So about a year and a half goes by. He was from Pennsylvania. He comes up to me one day. He goes, I'm selling the shop. I'm like, oh man, you know, I just started liking working here. He's like, you're gonna buy it from me. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know how much money I make. How the hell am I gonna do that? You know? Yeah, but
Oh, there's pictures.
he made it work. Is that old Firebird or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, Camaro.
Oh,
It's
no.
87.
Yeah.
All white. What are we
Oh
doing?
shit!
What are we doing?
Jackie just sent me pictures of.
A plane definitely crashed.
Plane crash right on 19 near the dealerships.
Oh dang.
Wow.
Anyway, as you were saying,
So yeah, you know, he ended up making it work where I was able to buy it. You know, I went down to the bank, I borrowed as much as I could. Scared as freaking hell, you
Oh,
know?
I imagine.
This was what, 2004? So, but yeah, like just never look back, you know?
That's awesome
It's
though.
been amazing.
Like
Yeah.
that's amazing.
And-
that
and-
you
and
can go
e-
from
and
a place
even-
that you're working at, and then just all of a sudden you're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
What are you
Mhm.
talking about? And
Yep,
then
yep.
being able to buy it.
So
but
yeah,
then-
this is his 20th year.
So
Well,
yeah, it's almost paid for. Like I almost have, you know.
Mm-hmm.
and-
that's awesome though.
Yeah.
And I know there's probably ups and downs, but like the
There's
up
been
and
a lot
up's
of
always
ups
the
and downs,
best, you
yeah.
know.
But you know, I mean, it's been up and down for a little while. A few years back, like the end of we won't get into politics, but you know, Obama's term.
Mhm.
You know, I felt like I paid some Christmas bonuses at the end of that year. You know, borrowed money a couple times to make payroll. You know, I was struggling. I was like, I don't know. This, you guys can go get another job. You know, my
Yeah.
employees, whatever. I'm like, I don't know what I'm
No,
gonna
it's,
do.
it's
Yeah,
your
'cause-
livelihood.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, in his position, he's the
Yeah.
first one in, the last one
Yeah.
out, and the last one to get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got through that, and then like COVID, they like seemed to shut us down. You know, that one little month there, we did about
Yeah.
half what we
Mhm.
normally did. Ever since then, I don't know. This place is just exploding.
And I was gonna
You
say,
know,
and
that-
today
that's
you're
aw-
you're,
that's
you're
awesome,
busting
man.
today.
Oh,
You're
every
busting.
time I go by there, you guys
Busy,
and-
line
and
up
count-
around the building.
Yep.
Countless awards and people talking so good about you. Never. I hear people all the time too. Like they call me up and talk about how like they go to your shop and they're
Yep.
so happy with everything. And I'm,
Yep.
like
Ah.
it's awesome. It's good. It's good.
Well, I'm gonna grab another beer really
Alright.
quick, and then I have some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I remember what
with that.
kind of what put it into perspective to me one time. I remember doing Christmas shopping with my mom, and so we're out in the store, and I mean, I literally probably said hello to like, you know, 50, 70 people or something. You know, and finally my mom's like, Jesus, you know, did you just know everybody? I'm like,
They
All
come
the
into my
customers
shop.
know this. I know everybody.
I'll be in Tampa now. I run into a customer. He's like, oh yeah, the oil change guy, right? I'm like, yeah. You know, so.
So when we first met you through the Mustang Club, you were Mobile One. How many different oil companies?
So when I started working there originally, we were just branded as Fast Lube. That's why I went back to that name. But so I'll go through progression. We were Fast Lube featuring Havoline Oil, Texaco.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, at one point, Shell bought Texaco out, and they're like, "There's going to be no more such thing as
Right, I
Texaco
almost
oil.
dropped
We're
it.
doing away with it."
Yeah, I
And
should've
it
warned you
gotta
about
become a Shell. So we became a full branded Shell Rapid Lube. Lo and behold, they sold
I'm
Texaco
gonna
off to
split with you
Chevron.
if you don't mind.
You know,
Okay.
which is still in existence, but. So when I bought it, we were the Shell Rapid Lube, and I was right at the end of a 10-year contract. And they're kind of, sure. Their attitude was like, yeah, I see your contract is about over. You know, you can renew it if you want, or do whatever. You know, I'm like, all right, well, I don't know. Right then, one of my other vendors had introduced me to the Mobile One rep.
Mm-hmm.
So they came in, they gave me like 50 grand or whatever to become their brand, paid for all the signs and everything. Hey, this is pretty cool, you know, give me money. So we were Mobile One for like 7 years or so. But then,
And thanks to Mobile One, we got to go to Sebring.
Yeah.
Sebring, they did a lot for me.
Yeah.
Daytona lots of
Yeah.
times,
I
things
mean,
like that.
that was one of the things I
You
was
know?
going to ask you of, like, how did that happen? Like, the change of stuff? Was it like,
It was kind of me doing it. And
Okay.
then the final one was just these Valvoline guys that come around a few times. For a couple of years, they were coming up and down, taking me to Bucks games, things like that. And they're like, no pressure,
Somebody
you
wanna
know,
split
this
with
is...
me?
I was like, all right, let's talk.
Oh,
What
shit.
do you offer me? He's like, you become independent and just
I
feature
just need a little bit
us.
of taste.
$60,000 a year cheaper in product.
Wow.
From getting rid of the franchise, being a franchise, to becoming independent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's one of
Wow.
those like I like Mobile One and that, but over the last few years, like the things that I've heard about Mobile One is they've gone downhill.
Yeah.
And that to where and everybody's saying if you used to run Valvoline. And that, like I mean, and also
Valvoline will say pouring oil out of bottles. Valvoline is some of the clearest oil out of
yeah.
most brands.
Oh, it's
there.
and it's like actual like beautiful. Like it looks like pouring like a really nice beer out there, but don't. Pints and Pistons saying, do not drink the oil. Please do that.
Legal disclaimer.
Legal disclaimer.
No. You know what? Yeah, if you drink oil, you drink oil like you drink beer, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You deserve whatever happens. But again, I'm just going to go back to the whole, take the warning labels off, and let Darwin sort things
You
out.
taste it though. Sometimes you get a leaker. You know,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, what the
Oh.
hell that's
No,
leaking?
you gotta taste it.
Oh,
You
I
have
know
to.
that is. Yeah.
Exactly.
me out of the exhaust on the Cali when everybody's like, oh, you burn it. I'm like, no, that's water. What are you doing? Sabrina's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm tasting it. Like, it's not cooling.
I have a
It's
question.
condensation.
Local supplier kind of shit. You stock batteries where you're at?
Yeah.
Do
You
you
got
stock batteries
Interstate.
from Interstate?
Interstate. Yep.
Did Jerry tell you he's not going to be doing routes anymore?
We had Chris for a long
Oh, yeah,
time.
Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, really? You don't have Jerry?
No, I never had Jerry.
Dude, we've had this guy Jerry for 10 years, and he came and delivered batteries last week, and he's like, hey, man, I just want to let you know, like, I'm not
Trying
going to
to
be
read
here
that.
after next week. I got this guy
Valvoline
with me.
makes
And I'm
the oils
like,
for
what?
Napa.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Napa
I
brand
understand.
oil.
I know, like,
is
we
made
get the
by
same
Valvoline.
oil
Yeah.
guy, though. I know that.
Mike, I did not know
It changes
that.
all the time. It was Jason for the longest time, dude,
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
dreads.
yeah.
He looks like Ezekiel from
Yeah.
Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I guess, like, he ain't around no more. I like him, though. He was so
Yeah,
cool.
he was cool. He was cool.
He was cool.
So, one thing, Mike just said that Valvoline
Brian.
makes the oil for
This one?
Napa.
Yeah.
So, the Napa brand oil is
Come on,
actually,
Get with the program there, bud.
is actually,
He's amateur, though.
I'm the newbie here. Come on.
we use a lot of Valvoline products at where we're at, too. I miss BG, though. BG was
Valvoline
awesome.
makes Napa oil, right?
I
Yeah,
really miss
yeah,
BG
yeah.
products.
I miss BG.
BG
I was gonna say, you
products
can't
were
get BG
top of the
Well,
line.
no, did they go out of
BG's were good.
business?
They're
Or,
so expensive.
like, did
though.
it
Yeah.
stop?
Well,
were
like,
worth
you
it.
know, but like I said,
Did say, I never
Well,
heard
well,
nothing
I
but
know-
good
here's the
things
thing.
about
Here's the
BG.
thing. Here's the thing. I had a hookup.
Well, yeah, you got
Hookup
stuff from,
retired, so
from-
I used to get my BG stuff for
well,
free.
well, Howard doesn't work there anymore.
Yeah, I
so,
used to-
you
well,
got stuff from Howard.
What happened with BG in this area is that Jenkins bought all the dealerships, and they all do
BG.
they do
Yeah.
Valvoline, and it ran him out. And he's actually our local rep is still in town. He's a service writer at Eagle.
Ah.
Yeah, but anyway, gentlemen.
Well, hold on, we
Yeah,
gotta
read it.
read it
Yeah,
in.
Yeah, we gotta
read in.
Do you
So,
want me to?
I got
Or-
it. Hey, I brought
He
reader
did.
eyeballs.
Did you see that?
I bought
Good for
reader
you.
I'm
eyeballs.
so happy.
I don't even need those yet.
He looks
Hey,
so pretty
Hey,
with them on.
I'm proud for you, Dad.
Hey, the difference between me wearing these and you wearing those is I make this shit look good.
And I can't see if I take them off.
I can see,
Like,
I can
you
see
can see,
everything
like,
but reading. Like I said.
We're fucked if we take ours
I
off.
know.
Well, Chris too. Yeah,
Yep.
we're all.
All
like I said,
blind as a bat.
So this is Deschutes Brewing Black Butt Porter from Bend, Oregon.
Okay.
Say that twice. Not
The
even three
journey
times.
began at Black Butt. Named
Okay.
for the iconic Black Butt, towering high above Central Oregon and seen for miles, this surprisingly balanced porter has notes of rich chocolate and
Yeah,
coffee,
black
a
ass.
luscious creaminess, and a roasted finish. No wonder it's America's favorite.
I'm just picturing some guy on the top of the mountain just mooning everybody.
I'm just curious, were you doing it on purpose?
What?
It's Butte.
Yeah, it's Butte. It's not Butt. It's got an E on the end.
It's always butt.
But hey.
Butte.
Oh, that smells good.
Okay.
Oh,
like that.
All right.
oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect for the weather.
What's that on the end?
It's either chocolate
Coffee.
or coffee.
Coffee.
That's coffee.
Is that coffee?
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice cup of black coffee right there.
I
No,
like it.
no,
It's good.
no.
No, it's coffee.
So I have a question for you.
Alright.
As far as
See, I
it's,
get
it's
For
dark
you,
Crystal
like
River-
for like you or
For-
you
for-
and
for
okay,
Brian.
we'll
No,
find
no,
out.
it's,
for
it's
Brian.
Crystal River Fast Lube and Repair. I want to know more about the repair side because I work, as everybody knows, I work in a dealership as a tech, and I know what we handle. What kind of stuff, like how heavy of repair do you guys do?
He does water pumps.
I know you do water pumps, clutches, that kind of thing.
Anytime I
on
heard
the
that-
average, what is there
Anytime I heard
jobs
that
where you're
commercial.
like, yeah, I
Absolutely.
ain't touching that.
I used to do a lot more, obviously, when I was younger, but nowadays I get very picky. You know, I try to keep it fast, things that don't take too long, a couple-hour job.
Yeah.
Yeah, biggest thing I've done lately is made like these the Pints friggin' oil coolers. You know, you know, things
ours
like that.
too.
But
We've done a couple of those in my shop.
This week.
But I used to do timing belts. I jump in, just a little bit of suspension stuff, you know. But I do get choosy nowadays compared to what I used to do. You know.
So now it's it's mostly stuff like, you know, brakes, pads and rotors,
I do a shitload of brakes.
Maybe throw some shocks in it or something like that.
Well, and it's one of those everybody thinks like, oh, it's just like I'll send people there and be like, hey, if you need like this stuff done, like go to Brian's shop, and they're like, well, it's just an oil change place. I'm like, no, it's not just an oil change place. Like they do more than that.
Yeah.
That's what the third bay is for.
Way more than that. Yeah. And also water pumps.
And coffee. And coffee.
Man, that was one of the things of
coffee.
Anytime I heard that one commercial on the Fox, and it was just he would be like, and they do water pumps, and I'm like, that's a jab at me. That's a jab at the 86.
Yes, it is.
That is.
Something's been up with them oil coolers this week, though, man.
Yeah.
We did like I think like 5 of them today.
Really,
Yeah, on the Kias. It's all these plastic oil cooler housings they use.
So the water pump story is,
and also it is no fault on Brian or anything like that.
No.
Literally, it was just the 86 being like,
the 86.
This is what I'm gonna do.
So was it the clutch?
We did a clutch.
So Mike took it in, dropped it off. He did the
We
clutch.
did a flywheel, clutch, throw bearing, pilot bearing, all that stuff.
So got a call, said it was ready. Mike's like, hey, my car's ready. Can you bring me over there? Sure. So I come over here, grab Mike. We head over, and then at 491 and
No,
40.
we weren't here. I was at the Glencoe house.
That was the Glencoe house, yeah. So
it was before we bought this.
So on the way over there at 491 and 44, a tractor trailer making a left turn
with crushed cars on it.
Oh wow!
Off onto 44, flipped in the middle of the intersection.
And blocked everything except one lane going towards
your
shop.
Yeah, westbound. One lane westbound was open. Everything else was closed, and it had just happened, and traffic was already backed up to Homosassa Trail. Yeah. So as we're going to the shop, I told Mike, I'm like, hey.
486.
Yeah, you need to take 486 past my house to come home. And so we get over to the shop. I drop Mike off. Mike picks up the car. I leave. And
everything was going great. Yeah. So when I picked up the car, Brian's like, "Hey, just to let you know, like
that water pump don't look too
good." Like, and you're like, you got a couple months out of it and all that, like, but just it's when you start it up, there's a little bit of a wobble. I'm like, cool, awesome. That like just paid for a flywheel, clutch, all that stuff. I'm like, cool, it'll give me like a paycheck or two. I'll get it. Not a problem. Awesome. Get going. I go 46 like he said, and I'm almost to his house.
You were approaching Forest Ridge.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it went and it stopped, and I'm like, uh-oh. And I was able to coast into, they hadn't built it yet, but where the ER place is, I was able to take that side road going into Walgreens, and I pulled over, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to start. I'm like, okay, it's not starting. I opened the hood, and I'm like, uh-oh. And I call him.
So I had stopped off at Publix to grab a couple things.
He's literally right next to me.
Coming out the door at Publix, and my phone rings, and it's Mike. I'm like, hey, what's up? And he was like, are you home yet? I'm like, no, I'm just walking out of Publix.
I'm like, cool, I'm right next to you. Can you come help me?
And I'm like, well, I've got cold things I got to get in the fridge. I'll be back in a minute. So I went home, put everything in the fridge, came back, looked at the front of the car, and all of the pulleys were all in line except for the water pump. It was like that. Like the bearings just crushed and went like, nope, you're done.
Like it is the only time, like it wasn't like the fins in the water pump failed. The actual shaft of the water pump came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole thing just
the impeller came off and the shaft popped out.
Yeah, and
no, it's a wonder it didn't chuck the belt off.
It did not chuck the belt off. That was the thing. So like, but it
jammed and shut the motor.
It was this close to hitting the radiator. It did not. It did not.
So it's like, oh shit. So I get over there and look at everything. I'm like, well, bud,
yeah,
we're not changing the water pump here, and you can't run without a belt. So
yeah, we had to call
a
tow truck, and so I called Brian, and he's like, what's up? I called the shop, and he's like, hey, so that water pump? He's like, yeah, what about it? And I'm like,
It went out.
It didn't last a couple of months.
He's
It
like-
went out here and now.
6
So-
miles. And I'm like,
So-
so who do you recommend for towing? And I'm like, can it come back to the shop? He's like, yeah, bring it back to the shop.
So the best part of the story of that day is once we got the tow truck sorted out and the tow truck was on its way, I looked at him like, well, tow truck's on its way. You're good. See ya.
He left me. He top gear room.
I top gear.
Literally, I'm saying that. I'm like, I gotta go to work in an hour. Like, how the fuck am I getting to work?
So I will say on that job too, you know, some of them, the bolts.
And that was the thing.
Half
The-
of them went through the timing cover too.
Yeah.
The bolts
So
were fucking
I'm
broke.
cracking them all loose, getting them, and one, no, it was already broken. Somebody siliconed the shit out of it and just stuffed it back. In the
Oh
fucking
no!
Yeah. He called me. He's
Yeah.
like, hey, just so you know. I'm like, ah, shit. I'm so
And
sorry.
that was the most successful, like easiest tap and drill that I've ever done.
That's good. That's
And it
good.
came right out.
Yeah,
So-
he told me.
Oh, what
about
the
that.
hell?
I'm like,
That car
I am-
fights us tooth and nail. Just lets you do whatever to it.
So
God damn
I
it.
want you to know the reason it fucked up on Sunday was because before we left Applebee's, he tapped the fender and said, "You be a good girl."
heard
So
that.
you be
And
good.
then the
It
fucking
did.
throw-out bearing went out when I'm in Sumter County, and it was Brian's fault.
No. It happened on Istachata. You were in Hernando County at that point.
So,
I don't know.
can I tell you about the worst water pump I've ever seen?
Sure.
So when I used to work at O'Reilly's slinging parts, we had cores on water pumps, and this guy
Parts
came
for
in.
Harry.
Yeah, slinging parts for Harry on the side, nitrous kits, usually wet ones. No Motec motors or spoon
damn.
engines, or no, sorry, Motec exhaust systems.
Motec exhaust.
Yeah, that's right. So this guy came in. And he's like, I need a water pump for my Camaro, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And he said, I don't know if you'll take the core. It's pretty bad. And I said, it doesn't matter, dude. Just give us whatever. And then he comes back the next day, and I was working, and he's like, I got that core. You remember me? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, well, it's bad. I'm like, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, my car started overheating in Tampa, and I was at the end of the Skyway Bridge, so I got a bucket out of the back of my car, and I scooped in water and poured it in the radiator.
Holy shit.
And I was like, wait, what? And he goes, yeah. And I said,
Oh no!
salt
Put
water,
salt
right?
water in your car?
He's like, yeah. And then he hands me this box, and I look, I'm like, this is the most atrocious water pump I've ever seen. And he said, the car is not running right. It's still kind of overheating, but I'll figure it out. And I'm like,
No, you won't.
I said, you know what you did, right? And he goes, well, I put my water pump on. I'm giving you the core, and I was just telling you what happened. I'm like, you put salt water in
your engine.
your engine.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like,
You basically took the antifreeze out. You added salt water. You created an electrolysis bath.
Like you
All
created
of
a
it-
giant battery.
all
One
of the
part of your
alu-
engine was the anode. The other part of the engine was the cathode. Everything's gone.
Everything,
It's all gone.
everything that was aluminum just became the sacrificial anode.
he drove off. I never saw him again. There was a lot of people like that at O'Reilly's. I had the kid with the oil one time, too. We had this kid come in. He said, my low oil light's on. It's Silverado. And I was like, all right, so do you need oil? And he's like, well, yeah, I think so. So he went to get some oil, and he got like a 5-quart jug. And I was like, well, since your oil's low, do you just want to, get stuff to do an oil change? And he's like, I might as well, right? And I'm like, yeah, sure, man. So I gave him an oil filter. He got 5 quarts, and I'm like, look, your Silverado takes like 6 or whatever, and you got another quart.
Not 9.5, like.
Yeah.
Kid goes outside, and I'm chilling. Nobody comes in. I'm like, all right. 10 minutes later, he's back in. And I watch him walk right past me and go to the oil. And I'm like,
Need
okay.
more oil?
I'm like watching. He comes up, and he's got another 5-gallon jug, and he puts it down.
5 quart.
Or sorry, 5-quart, not gallon. 5-quart jug, and he sets it down. I'm like, so you need some more? And he's like, I think so. And I'm like, well, it's on sale, so if you're trying to save for your next oil change. And he goes, yeah. And he takes it and he goes out. 10 minutes later, kid's back in again.
Oh,
And I'm like, what's going on here? And he comes back and he's got another one. And I'm like, are you all right? And he goes, well, it's not full yet. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh, shit, he's filling it up.
I said, wait, what?
Filling it up.
He said, well, when I take the cap off and I look in, I don't see any oil. And I said, did you put what I sold you in? He's, yeah. I'm like,
Did you put the second one I sold you in?
yeah.
Oh
I'm
no.
like, wait.
I'm in danger.
Piston skirts. Never heard of her.
Oh boy. Mike just put a really long one up that I can't read.
Oh, is it?
Guy comes into Napa and asks, can I put a 20 amp fuse where a 10 amp fuse goes? I said, sure.
Yeah, I love those people.
But you'll find out really quick where the short is. He buys the 20 amp fuses and walks out.
Yeah.
That totally
And that's
checks
car
out.
burnt down.
So Mike's
totally
old
checks
school
out.
garage, he works
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
Napa,
I agree,
that
yes,
big
We
one.
had a
and all
dude
that.
catch his car on fire one time in the parking lot doing the same thing.
Oh man.
Yeah, you told me the story about that one. The guy with the fuse
sound
for the
system?
sound system.
Oh, what bigger fuse
That
is?
zero gauge wire burns really, really hot when you short it out.
It's going good, right?
Yeah,
It glows really pretty colors, though.
I did that once before. A second gen RX-7. We put in a Mishimoto radiator and some fans in, like electric fans. And I guess I don't remember if I ran the wire or my buddy did, but one of us ran the wire up under the dash, the hot wire for the fans, and didn't zip tie it in place. So I took the car out for a spin, make sure the fans are working, and they're working great.
until they weren't.
I'm sitting at, you know where the Holiday Inn is, that light there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, and I have my foot in on clutch and on brake. And all of a sudden, I notice we had the hood off of the car, and I notice this, like, little strand that's turning orange under the hood. I'm like, that's funny.
Oh, look, it's a light up wire.
And then smoke inside of the car, because the clutch pedal, it fell back behind the clutch, and it was just wearing out the wire. And when I was
Ooh.
sitting there clutch in and brake, it was just grounded out.
Oh man.
Whoops.
The
It
weirdest,
wasn't whoops.
the weirdest electrical thing I ever had on a car was my Mustang 2.
Well, there you go.
You'd hit the key. If it started right up, great. If it didn't start right up and you had to lay on the starter for a little bit, you would start to smell something getting hot. So I'm in high school. I have a manual for the car, so I'm like, well, okay, I'm not ready to grab the manual yet, but I'm going to start looking at what I can see. So I'm looking around under the hood. Nothing's hot. Nothing smells weird. I start taking panels out from around the dash and steering column. Nothing's hot. Nothing smells weird. Nothing looks out of sort. I'm like, all right, whatever. Just does this a couple more times, and I decided I'm getting irritated with it, so I'm going to find out what's going on. So I put the thing up on jack stands, pulled the wheels and tires off, pulled the coil wire, and just screwdriver until I started smelling shit burning.
Yeah.
And then went around the car. Somehow the car was finding its ground for the starter motor on the driver's side parking brake cable, because that bitch was glowing red ass hot.
I'm gonna ground right here.
I never did figure out, I'm getting rid of the car, I never did figure out, because I went through and I replaced the ground cable, I replaced and did every ground in the car, the ground straps from the engine, everything.
And it still did.
And it still did it, and I was like, this car has to go.
Weirdest electrical grumbling I ever had was my 86 BMW.
There you go.
Alright, I know, self-describing problem.
Right
But
there.
this is how weird it was. Get in the car.
Plane
Turn the
crash is
key.
19 and White Dogwood and Homosassa right now.
Oh, okay.
Brett just sent me a picture.
Start the car. 12.2 volts at the battery. Not a volt more. Rev the car up to 2,200 RPMs and phew, 13.8 volts. Okay? Now, if you started the car and didn't rev it up, it would drain itself dead. It would literally run the battery out and kill the car.
Kill it.
But if you revved it up to 2,200 RPMs, it started working. And it would continue working until you shut the car off again. I don't know why it did that, but it did. And I replaced the alternator, I checked grounds, I looked at power wires, I looked at everything I could on that car.
Internally regulated or externally regulated?
Internally regulated.
Parts
But I
store?
replaced the alternator.
Part store alternator?
Yes.
There you go. I had an 81 200 SX. Same fucking thing.
But I did it three different times.
So did I. It just it would just.
Because I did the first one.
No, I finally
Fired the car up. That's not reading. That's a bad alternator.
Bad
Took it
alternator,
right back
bring
and
it
smell.
back, right?
Did
I-
it the second time. That's still a bad alternator. Went back and the guy told me, "Hey, try revving it up and see if it starts charging after that." started charging. I'm like, all right, whatever, cool, it works.
I ended up fixing mine by going to Damron's when it was still Damron's and grabbing a used one out of a parts car.
Yep.
That's what fixed it. Was putting an used OEM alternator fixed it. But I went through 3 or 4 of the parts store alternators, and it would just chew them up.
My Expedition it had the PATS problem, and I guess with like that era where they had like the 01 to 06 Expeditions, the PAT system would cut voltage.
Yep.
And
same thing with the Cobras.
Could not get around it, so I found out there's a little green wire that comes off the pigtail for the alternator, and that regulates the voltage. Relay, hot, switch.
Yep.
Start the truck up, hit the switch.
We're charging.
Toyota
Shut the
dealer.
switch off, shut it off. Good to go.
Hey, you can even start the car without the drag of the alternator to start with.
Yeah, but if you forget to turn the switch off, then you go outside the next morning and the battery's dead.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can start the car without turning the alternator on, so you weren't having the extra drag.
Put that
of the
drag
alternator.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Airplanes do that.
You just had, and you'd watch it too, like it'd all be dim, and then you flip that switch and you watch the battery gauge go whoop.
There
That
we
was
go.
what the BMW would do when you'd rev it up. When it would hit, I knew I was charging because I could watch my dash lights and start
Light
loading
up.
brighter.
That was the thing with my Mark 8, because my Mark 8 had, obviously it was mid-90s, but it was mid-90s with a lot of mid-90s Ford electronics.
Yeah.
Plus it had the air ride in it. Russell!
Hey, Russ.
Yep. So, and that thing there, we occasionally called him Flip.
Flip.
Yeah.
So that
I'm
thing...
not going to do that, Russ.
But-
I just called you Russ.
But no, that thing, like I said, if I was at
I
highway
was the
speed
one-legged
and then had
guy.
to slow down to a stoplight at nighttime with the headlights on, you would watch the headlights dim until the compressor aired everything up, and then the headlights would go pink.
Oh,
So before we go into our bring your trailer or whatever card, cab card, and that, what cars have you had? Like significant cars? Like, I mean, you don't have to do like any like little daily driver and all that, but like, I know currently your daily driver is something very special.
it's called the Roush F-150.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say it's a nightmare, right?
Nightmare, right?
Yep.
Roush Nightmare.
Supercharged Coyote, 10-speed.
Which is not the single cab nightmares like after the Lightning. So
Yep,
like the
yep.
right after the Lightning, the 05 to I think they did 05 to 07 was the single cab nightmares that they did,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
then they stopped that because I remember when Nick had that 05 that red one and all that. I was
I
super
wish I've
excited.
tried to research how many they made, and I cannot find anything on the internet whatsoever.
Of how many? What?
Well, you had a little bit of a
19.
you had an interesting kind of runaround to actually get delivery of yours, the way yours turned
Well,
out.
did
So
you
I
buy
ordered
yours?
it. Yeah, I
Oh,
ordered
so
it.
you got yours new.
Yeah, I ordered it.
Okay.
And it took forever. Like it was, they told me to be, whatever it was, a month or whatever. Here it was, like almost 3 months later.
What year is it?
19.
Okay.
That was pre-COVID.
So I've
Yeah,
seen one on another lot in Tennessee that was the same build that I wanted, and ended up talking to Richard at the local dealer here, and he called him up. He's like, "Hey, we got a guy that wants that truck." They brought it, they brought
Oh,
it here,
shit.
and I got
Okay.
it right away. So mine that came in actually had been to the dealer a few times for air conditioning problems and stuff. The one I ordered
Really?
actually showed up eventually, and they sent
Yeah.
it to somebody else, but.
So yeah, I mean that was actually kind of a stroke of luck to find one that was in the exact same build spec that you had ordered. That was
Yeah.
nice.
It had the active exhaust, which I really didn't care about, which is cool. But
I was gonna say currently you have long tubes on
so I
it,
put
right?
long tube headers on it.
Do you got cat delete or no?
No cats, right? Off
Yeah,
road.
well, I mean,
Allegedly.
well, allegedly.
Allegedly.
In Mexico, only in Mexico though.
Only
Yeah.
Mexico.
Well, yeah. Canada.
It's probably making around 700 horsepower right now at the flat wheels. So
No, 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive?
2-wheel.
Oh yeah,
Tire
dude, when we
burner.
went,
That's
It's like everybody says, "Why do you need a 4-wheel drive?" Well, yeah, sure, it'll hook up more, but 2-wheel drive is more fun.
A lot more fun. Because all you gotta do is go like that,
It's a street
and then
truck.
it goes.
It's a street truck.
Yeah, I understand that,
He
but
said it's
like,
just a street
yeah,
truck.
but you got 8th miled by the 4-point slow.
so it's one of
True.
those. You have another 3 hours. You can order a T-shirt or anything like that off our CletusMcFarland.com, and you can
win your choice of one of those either the turbo or the blown F-150s.
Oh yeah. Okay.
and $10,000 cash. Yeah,
To cover the taxes.
yeah. But
Okay, so question: twin turbo or blower? Which
blower,
one?
I go blower because it'll be daily driven.
Honestly, I think I'd take the turbo truck.
Turbo.
Yeah.
Turbo would be better for daily driver.
Because when you're not in it, the turbos are just there doing nothing.
Yeah.
I already
I
missed.
understand that.
I already missed turbo
But-
sounds. I want them again.
But like Leah said, he got the fancier vinyl interior swapped into his car, so I want that.
So-
I think I'd still take the white.
I know,
I'd
I
take
know.
the white turbo truck.
I-
And also too, the exhaust on the red truck is just
There's awesome,
exhaust.
both of them. Congratulations, it's a Coyote. That's
Yeah, but
what a
it's-
cold start sounds like.
But at least the
I start the car in the morning, and I like the last couple mornings. I'm like,
been
I go out there.
nuts.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
yeah,
That's
but
his
at least
off. That's
at least
it.
the
I can't
but
wait
at
to
least
do
the
that to
turbo
my
at least the turbo truck has the hair dryers to quiet things down a little bit.
Not much.
Yeah,
Not much.
My car
Robert?
now is obnoxious on cold start.
Oh, I do a cold start.
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
I literally do a cold start, and it's that of me screaming, and then it quiets down, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's only like 15 seconds or so. And it's-
About 45. No cats and no mufflers, so it's about
Yeah.
45. Then once it hits 1,000, and then I hit the, I'll hit the defrost button, and it bounces back up to 1,500, and it's I'm sorry.
well,
The exhaust note on his truck. A couple of times he's went screaming past me, and it's like I've seen it coming, like window up as fast as possible. It's nauseous.
On the Mazda, ever since I put the ported intake manifold on, it does like pops. Like, so when you cold start it, it goes like, it sounds like you're hitting two-step.
Oh,
Somebody's listening to Cage the Elephant. Very loud.
So the Mustang has been doing that, and then the Mustang has been doing a
Oh, that's a
lot
Harley.
of-
That's a Harley with a
Yeah,
stereo on it.
It's a Harley.
So the not the 86. So the Cali has been doing
Harley,
a
bro.
lot of backfires, and that
It's because
to-
it's cold.
No, to the point to where like it has scared me, and I'm like, and I had a guy say,
How did,
So
how
with
did,
that-
how,
with
what
that
did it make you
turbo-
do?
I went, like that, and
Just
I
want
was
a little
at
of that.
I was at a light today on my way home, and the guy's like, I just want to let you know, like you had fire coming out the back, like
Yes, sir.
Is your car okay? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
It's supposed to do that.
It shot flames. It shot flames. During the
Wait a minute.
daytime.
Wait a minute. When did you rotary swap the Cali?
I know. Like
on Thursday, I had I had Zach pick up the Mazda, and I followed him back to his house, and like,
Mazda shoots flames constantly.
well, with the new turbo manifold, it's like every time you shift, no matter what, almost.
Well, you know why? Because there's no vacuum leak
No,
or
there's
any
no
leak. There's no
tubes.
leaks.
and
Yeah.
then I was like, ah.
Everything's finally going into the.
I started
Yeah.
crying a little bit. Anyway,
So we never did finish.
so-
What other kind of cool cars did you have?
Very first car I ever had, I bought was a 73 Cutlass 2-door, 350 Rocket. You know,
Guy on the other block has one.
Yeah.
Has one with.
50s on the back, you know, air
Yep.
shocks, the
Yep.
whole nine, you know, so.
Is it yellow and black?
Oh no, the yellow one, the yellow 4-door.
it's
It's
the yellow
a
4-door, okay.
74 next street over cam that hits harder than a trailer bar Carsman.
Well, that's different car. You said 73?
73. Yeah.
So that was-
a 1 year only, 73.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
73 was previous generation.
Okay, yeah, no, guy has a 74.
The 74 was when they went to the
They're
Colonnade
very
bomb.
similar, yeah. 74 had like flush tail lights.
Yeah.
The 73 were inset.
Okay.
Had
Yeah.
the skinnier. No, it was before the impact bumpers.
Oh,
and
yeah,
all
yeah,
I'm
that.
very
yeah.
curious about the
Yeah,
car.
Oh, the
Well,
auction
hold on,
car.
Hold on, we're talking about his stuff.
After that, decided I bought a little Datsun truck, 80 Datsun pickup. Never drove stick before in my life. Taught myself how to drive it, you know, on the way home. So.
Little king cab.
The most fun car I probably owned was a Fiero GT. I don't know. It was not the fastest thing in the world, but I put that car in some insane
Situations.
It took whatever I dished out.
And
Bought it
you
like
could,
30,000 miles out, and I sold it like 180 on it. You know, so.
but you could do things in traffic you just couldn't do with anything bigger.
Yeah,
That
you
was
were
like
in and out of traffic, gone before they were like, "Who the hell? Oh, he's gone already." You
yeah,
know?
that was like my first gen RX-7. It was the same thing. You
I'm
just
getting used to
zip,
that.
zip, 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 zip,
The
zip.
big part now. I can't
Yeah.
do that anymore.
Yeah. Mhm.
I used to be able to zip right in through stuff, and I can't now.
Yeah.
But you have a much nicer driving experience
I
now.
know. I know.
You can have a conversation in your car now.
I can actually like and hold one without like
Yelling.
Yeah.
It's cool. I was starting to hang. I've known Perry and Jackie a long time, but I was just starting to hang out with you guys at the Mustang Club and hanging out at Arby's, whatever. I had an IROC at the time, and I go up there, I looked at Perry, I was like, "I'm buying a Mustang." He's like, "Okay." Like 2 days later, I went and bought the Mustang I got, the 13 GT. Showed up there with it. He's like, Sure you weren't kidding, were you?
I'm like, no.
And also, what's also interesting is like he's been like I'm a native, not a native to Citrus County, but I've lived here most of my life. It's funny because after we had known each other for a little while, we got to talking about kind of doing some of the stuff and the places that were around here, and it was like, holy shit, I know damn well that me and him have been to the same parties, been to the same spots. We drank beer together for years, up in, even from back in the two-legged days. I know, because we ended up talking about, it's like, shit, we were both in the same places at the same time, and it was all these years later.
You like from Florida originally?
I'm from New York.
From New York?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Moved
yeah,
here
like I
in
said,
84
it was
originally, went back in 90, came back in 92, went back over again, and
Was it all here though, like Citrus County?
Citrus County, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
It
mom's
has
family
that
all
weird
bought
effect.
property here like in the early 70s.
Draws people back
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
You-
it's like you can't get away, right?
You like upstate New York or?
So originally, as a little kid, I grew up in Long Island, then I lived in Staten Island for a while. I lived in the
Oh,
city,
so like-
through my
okay,
teen
okay.
years,
Where
you
in
know,
Long Island?
Patchogue area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Famous
Suffolk County.
from Lake Ronkonkoma.
Oh, we're talking
and-
about my dad had his Exxon gas station was right on the exit of the LIE on
Okay.
Lake
Yeah, you
Ronkonkoma.
had Lake Ronkonkoma
Yeah.
and Lindenhurst.
Lindenhurst, yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like this cold or New York cold?
New York cold's totally
New York
different.
cold is
It
different.
is, it's
This cold is
completely
damp.
This
here.
cold
Yeah,
sucks
and-
ass.
and-
It does,
So
doesn't it?
we were
Yeah,
like,
it's not- if it gets under 50, I'm closing the door. I'm sissy now. I
So,
hate
well,
the
no,
cold.
I was just having this conversation today at work because like the last couple days has been in the 30s.
Yeah.
And then today, with it being rainy, nasty, all that, even though it was only 50, it felt worse to me
Yeah.
than it did when it was 30 degrees at my work. Like literally, I had
It could be like
yeah, 'cause
38 and like
everywhere.
80%
Yeah, 'cause, like,
humidity.
because
And-
like
and-
in the middle of the day it would get up to 50, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Like I'm absolutely loving
today,
it. But today,
like it was one of
like,
those. I'm like,
right now,
my
it's-
like my knees hurt.
My
everything.
phone said it's 50 and it feels
Yeah.
like 43.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, like I said,
it's
50
that
right
moist-
now.
It's the dampness.
The
Yeah.
dampness
Yeah.
Like this
gets
is
into your bones.
like, and you can ask any of these guys. This is one of the rare times
He's wearing a jacket.
when I
I
have
know.
sleeves on.
I know.
I still have
Minute.
shorts and a flip flop.
In
But-
New York, it could be, if it's 35 in the morning, it might get 40 in the middle
Yeah.
of the day. You know, here it's 35 in the morning, it's like 70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild
It's
change.
hard to layer for
Yeah,
it
yeah.
because you're like, I gotta bundle up in the morning, and then by 1 o'clock
Yeah,
I'm
we-
stripping stuff off.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
I-
we got
I-
our heat on in the morning and AC on in
Well,
the
at
afternoon.
that point, it's when I wake up and after I take a shower, I'm talking to Alexa and I'm like, okay, what is it going to be? Because now it's gonna be, am I gonna wear pants and like be okay
Oh,
for
I-
like the
I
little
only
bit
own
in the
one pair of
morning and then
pants.
afterwards be like
Miserable?
I'm sweating?
Yeah.
Or am I gonna wear shorts to where I'm like, okay, I got 3 hours of me being miserable and then I'll be fine
For the rest of the day.
And that's literally what I do. I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be 30. Okay, by
I'll
8
take cold
o'clock
legs.
it's 45. 9 o'clock it's 57.
Yeah, listen to you
shorts.
just throwing legs out there in the
Shorts.
plural.
Wearing a
Like it's
jacket,
no
like, I'm
big
not bringing a
deal.
jacket,
take
'cause
cold
I'm gonna be
leg.
toting it around in
Yep.
2 hours.
Cold
you know?
leg.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I go. I'm like, okay, I can be cold for 2 hours and then be okay, or am I gonna be like,
Yep.
I'm cold, and I'm gonna bring a jacket? Like, yeah,
Yeah, my thing was, as an actual Florida man,
me
the
too.
one thing I've and Mike's
I
noticed,
think
and
you are too.
You are.
I am.
So one of the
Yeah.
things that I've
Yeah.
noticed is,
No.
especially people that come from New York and New England, New Jersey, and that area up in the northeastern part of the country,
They bring meth with them.
they do bring meth with them.
Hey.
I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying. Like,
Just throwing a generalization out there. I've noticed that the first time it gets cold down here, and
they're okay with it.
they're completely
like,
okay with it, and they laugh at everybody who's wearing any kind of sleeves or pants or
Yeah.
anything like
And
that.
then the
You're like,
second
that's-
time,
you're
Well,
like-
like,
that's, but that's the thing. But then I always look at them and I'm like,
Wait till next year.
come talk to me next year. Just talk to me
Because
one
we
year.
have seen that.
Just come talk to me.
and then they're like,
I was-
Yeah.
you're the one in shorts?
Yeah, and then
And then
now
they
obviously,
freak the fuck out.
and obviously I've been modified. But yeah, I'm like, come talk to me next year, and they're like, what? I'm like, you'll see, and they're like, nah, man, I'm back. This time of year, it's 12 below zero, and I've
Yeah,
run around in just a
understand
light
that.
jacket, blah blah
Understand
blah.
that.
I'm
Well,
fine.
uphill
Yeah,
15 miles each way to the store.
in the snow. It's like, yeah, I get that, but just
I really wanna know
come see
how
me,
your
come
house
see
was
me in a
built.
year, and it usually takes 1 year.
Yep.
You occasionally you get the ones that are 2. Every now and then you
Yeah.
get someone hardcore. It takes 3. For the most part, it's a year. and it starts getting cold, and they turn into the biggest crybabies about the cold. Like, oh my god, I'm so cold. Huh?
Listen,
It's like, what was that you were saying last year?
It was 3 years for me. It was 3 years for me. But first 3 years I was here, it's getting down to 45, and I'm laughing at
Like,
people because they're dressed like I am right now, and I'm walking around in flip flops, t-shirt, and shorts, going, "The hell, this is golf weather. What is wrong with you? I'm ready to go swimming." And then the third year hit, and it hit this, and I'm like, I have to go buy a jacket. I'm like, I'm cold.
Yeah.
Why am I so cold?
And how amusing is it that right now 2 of the 3 Florida men are sitting here in shorts and flip-flops?
Yeah.
But no, the humidity does play into it. Because like I said,
I do have socks on.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm wearing the slides.
Yeah,
I am wearing the slides.
Okay, close enough.
I am wearing the slides.
Socks and flip flops. Winter attire.
Yeah. Safety shoes.
Safety sandals.
Safety sandals.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
Just like your safety squints. You
No.
look at no, you
No.
look at the weld and then you go, and then you do it.
No, we have a friend of ours, Big Dan. He went to
yes.
use a death wheel
Yep.
just to cut a piece of hose, and he relied on the safety squints and didn't work out for him.
Didn't work out.
He had to have
Well,
surgery.
See, death wheel. No, safety squints is welding only. Right? Like
Yeah.
I hate to leave it.
you need real
no, you're
safety
good.
glasses for
We all have
grinders,
at that
but
point.
like for welding,
Now,
it's safety squints.
at that point, was that on the Bronco or was it on the mysterious Mustang that only me and Sabrina have
mysterious
seen
Mustang.
once?
I don't know.
Because it's always one of those, like, every time Dan talks about his Mustang and all that, like, not you, Dan, but Big Dan.
I don't own a Mustang.
No, it's
I'm
one,
aware.
it's one of those, like, from the time I was 14 and joined a club, like, Dan always talked about his Mustang, and I'm like...
He has had it out
Yeah.
a couple of times, and then the one time he had it out, and we went down to...
yeah, and the EFI fucking messed up.
yeah, and the
That-
EFI's let out, and they left him sitting on the side of the road.
Yeah,
Everybody tried to
and
fix it.
So it was a whole entire thing, and then like I saw the car twice, and I looked at Dan. I'm like, Dan, is this your car? And he was so proud, like it was his car, and it's a 65 or 66, 66.
66 coupe.
And,
White.
and it's got the Holly EFI on it.
No.
and-
It's not the Holly. It's
Sniper.
I think it's Phytech.
Or
I
yeah.
think it's the Phytech
But
system.
man, and
Phytech or
we
Haltech?
we finally
Phytech.
saw it and all that, and it was
And it's
going
Hal,
great.
not Hall.
Hell,
It was
sorry.
it was
Do you
going
know why?
great, and then
pronunciation.
yeah,
No.
we only saw the car twice.
Yeah.
and I'm like, and next time I saw him, he was in his Bronco again. I'm like, damn, what the heck happened? And ever since, I have
That background image is a clue. That's the red eye from the
Space
HAL
Odyssey.
9000 supercomputer from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
That makes so much sense.
That's what
That makes so much
HALTech was
sense.
pretty much named after the HAL 9000 supercomputer.
anyway.
All right, so auction car.
Well,
Auction car.
Auction car.
And the 2 reasons I chose this auction car is 1, I don't think we've done this before,
No.
and 2, I saw a slightly lesser variant of this car while I was in Gainesville, which is weird because when I go up to Gainesville, I rarely see interesting cars up there.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
see
is it-
high dollar cars all the time.
is it a Cars and Bids car? or
It is a Cars and Bids
Always,
car.
always,
So the
always.
cab car is right.
The
Sorry,
cab.
This time I'm gonna get it off of my phone this time, so there
Get,
you go.
get what off of your phone?
The pictures.
Ah.
Watch. I got it right off of my phone. See?
Ah,
Nice. So,
Oh, I already know what it is by looking at the gauge cluster, and I'm so excited.
so what we have here is a 2013 Volvo C30 T5 R design.
so it's an RS.
Basically, so the second generation 2-door Focus RS that Europe
Was
got that we did
amazing.
not,
Yes.
that was front-wheel drive with a turbo 5-cylinder from Volvo.
Okay.
Oh, it was the
Here's
greatest
the
fucking
thing.
car ever. Greatest
If you
fucking
get
car ever.
yourself a Volvo C30 T5, you basically
Same car.
have Europe's Focus RS, second
Because at that
generation
point,
Focus
at
RS.
that point, Ford
And
owned
it's
them,
fucking
and that
manual.
no, like that.
And you
Well,
can get the Volvos here?
Yeah.
Oh, look.
yeah,
It looks like
so,
a Ford on the
yeah.
inside.
So you can get this one here, but seriously, it is that car, and
Okay,
that,
so-
that Focus is.
So anyway, like I said, 2013 Volvo C30 T5 R design,
Amazing 5-cylinder
6-speed,
sound.
17,100 miles.
What?
Wow.
6-speed manual, Polestar engineered optimization.
It goes pop 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 pop.
300 plus horse ponies.
So this has a 2.5
5-cylinder
liter
glory.
turbocharged 5 cylinders, front wheel drive, 6-speed manual. It is black sapphire with black and white interior with a clean New Jersey title. It is a
New
private
Jersey.
party. It is a private party sale.
Hold on. So
New
even though
Jersey
it's
sub 50k miles.
17,100.
so it
sub
hasn't
20K
seen
miles,
winter.
I
It
think
hasn't
it's
seen winter.
Yeah,
hasn't seen
there's
winter.
no rust in this
I
car.
was gonna say, is it a rust bucket?
There's no rust in this car.
Wow.
Basically,
It's
notice
hard to
no
see
mileage,
with that
no
one.
mileage discrepancies. So this came equipped with R Design, Premier Plus, and Climate
I do
packages,
like the
Polestar
seats.
engineered optimization, blind spot information system, cruise control, and more. Zero modifications.
What year?
2013.
2013.
Oh yeah, no. So
That's
it is.
That's
Power comes from a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 5 rated at 227 horsepower and 236 foot-pounds of torque.
Mike says
I thought they had
19.5.
300.
I was gonna say, I think Mike won last time.
I think
believe
he
he
did.
did.
I think he was like $100 like on it. And
So this
I
thing-
do,
and-
I do
and-
love
yeah,
those wheels.
yeah,
Those
and this thing-
wheels are amazing.
And this thing has a bunch of paperwork with it.
Shit.
Can I say a possible hot take that's unpopular?
Sure.
You don't like
That
a
looks better than the RS.
Fuck
the
you.
Focus RS.
Fuck you.
No.
Fuck yourself.
The second, honestly, that car does look better than the second generation Focus. It does.
Thank
The
you.
second gen Focus, yeah.
Fuck
However,
you.
the only
Fuck you.
however,
Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck
the
you.
only
See this engineering.
the only problem with these cars is if you break that back window,
You're done.
cars have been written off and totaled because of that back window.
You can't get that back window.
You can't get one new. If you find one used, you're cool, but
Shoot, you gave us a real spiller this time.
I'm-
there,
I have
man.
no
attached
idea. How to
attached
value
Carfax history report indicates this C30 sustained damage in June 2020. No further information is
I was
provided.
gonna say, to be honest, I'm between.
Seller notes that a
9,000
Volvo
and
dealership
20,000.
inspection
Right.
performed in January 2024 indicated no signs of prior accident damage. So the only thing I could figure of
Parking
maybe
lot.
parking lot ding or something
Yeah.
like that.
All right, old school's got 19.9 or 19.5. Sorry,
19.5.
19.5. I'm doing 17.3
Gonna
is my
say,
hot.
Like seriously, I'm between 9,000 and 20,000.
17.3. We got 19.5.
Oh, it does have
on
two
the board.
keys, the owner's manual, the window sticker, and a
Oh,
bunch of
two
paperwork.
keys?
Of course
Oh,
it. Of course it does.
25.
With that mileage, of course it does.
And it does.
So-
It also has a sunroof.
I'm at 17.3. Mike's at 19.5.
So it's Price is Right rules.
Okay.
Just to let you know. So it's
Closest
so
without going over gets the bragging rights.
I'm gonna say I think it's a good deal. 14.9.
20,000.
I'm really like throwing around like between like 9 to 20 something. Like, fuck. 17,000 miles, right?
Yeah.
17,100 miles.
You know what? I'm gonna go high on this. 22.
23.
Oh!
23.
What?
23
job.
grand.
Good
Again!
job, Mike. Good job.
It's
I
weird.
really
it's
almost-
rare. It's collectible. It had to go for big money.
I was thinking
So-
at the 20Ks at first, but at the same time, like I wasn't thinking it was
I
that.
almost said
Yeah,
23.5, but I'm like, that might be a little bit too much. I'm so
yeah.
happy I didn't say 23.5.
It was the low mileage that really ticked it off for me. I was like, it's only got
Yeah.
17,000
But-
miles on it.
but-
Even if it was just a bog standard car, a 17,000 mile used car is worth $20,000.
It's one of those. It's gonna make Group B sounds.
But I
And
mean,
it
also-
really does
but
make
also,
Group
too,
B
is-
sounds.
But I mean, that one too, there, I mean, it's got a freaking Volvo battery and it's had so much dealership service that's been done.
Uh-huh.
But then it's the condition of the car, the low miles on the car, and just the oddity. Like, I think I've seen a T5 running around.
we have.
But
Remember when
I've
Timmy had one?
But,
Timmy's
yeah.
mom had one, and he would, and it was fucking quick.
yeah, like I said,
It
so I've
was
seen a
fucking
T5 running
quick.
around, but the R design didn't even
Yeah.
know that was a thing, and I didn't even know that Polestar, which at the time used to be Volvo's kind of performance
It
motorsports
was like
division.
an AMG version.
Kind of like
Yeah.
either AMG or BMW's M or,
Or
any of those.
SVT, yeah.
SVT or SVO. Like I didn't even know that Polestar really went in on those cars. I think they pretty much kept. I thought they had always just kept that to the V7. It's like the one that we saw on the way to Sebring that morning, as we
that
were
raced us. Oh man.
allegedly.
Well,
In Mexico.
we did not break the speed. Like we didn't. We didn't. He might have, but we didn't. We didn't.
So
and that was 5:30
Where the hell were we
in the morning.
We were like frostproof.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
were in frostproof.
Because I was halfway asleep, and you're like, Mike, wake up, there's a Volvo.
I look over, like we come up to a stoplight, and I see something pull up next to me, and I just kind of look over, and I was like, dude. And I'm like, Mike, look, D70R.
I was asleep because we left here at like 3
dark.
o'clock.
Yeah.
3 o'clock.
It was dark 30 when we left here.
Yeah. And seriously, the best thing was not y'all leaving me at a fucking gas station because I had to pee.
We only drove off a little bit.
A little bit.
I had to chase you. I just had to go pee. I come out of the thing, they're fucking driving off. I'm like, wait.
You forgot me!
But no, it was
didn't.
that Cadillac
Oh, the big
CTSV wagon. With this old dude, he had to been in his 70s with his trophy wife that was in her 40s. Fake tits, blonde hair, 15-inch welds with slicks on the back, and a cam that was
It was
going
that,
potato,
like I said, that
potato,
thing was
potato,
welds
potato.
all the way around, skinnies on the front, and it had 15-inch welds on the back.
It was a manual too. It was not automatic. It was a manual, and
We were-
it
was
not
looking hard.
non-tinted
Yeah.
windows, and you could see in. And he had the biggest smile on his face because we thought that it was the race cars that were doing practice laps on Sebring. Because I had the window down. I'm like,
Yeah, we're
listen.
right
And I'm
right as we're
wait,
rolling.
that's not that.
Well,
Roll
we
down
were
the other one,
rolling in.
That's fucking that.
We were way back in line from the actual billboard that says "Welcome to Sebring International Raceway." We were way back from that, and there were cars on the track doing race car things. And we're like, hell yeah! Turn the radio down. We all put the windows down, and we're like, oh, this day's gonna be freaking cool. And then
And the race car stopped.
and then
Wait, here.
we get up to the billboard, and then it was like dub, 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 potato, potato, and we're looking around like, well, what the hell is that thing? And then bright
That was
metallic
there.
red V3 wagon on radials and welds. We're like, what the hell? We're like,
Yeah.
okay, that might be the coolest thing we see today.
It was that, and then
But it
that-
wasn't.
No, well, you had the Delica, the lifted Delica with the doors open where we're on the tram, and we're like, Delica, and the guys were like, yeah.
They're like, holy shit, somebody knows what it is.
That, and then the
510 wide
yeah,
body.
I was going to say the Datsun IMSA thing.
Yeah, and then there was that little Fox body just hanging out in the pits like it was
Yep.
no big deal.
And then also in the Porsche paddock, and
That-
there was the barn find. I don't know what 911
That wasn't a barn find. So we went walking into the Porsche paddocks. There's like the Corvette paddock, and then right outside of 17A
Yeah, we
and
didn't
B,
go into the Corvette paddock.
there was the Porsche paddock. So we wandered
It was
into
cool.
there, and there's all kinds of cool stuff in there. There's
Amazing
934s, 934.5s, 935 RSRs,
like full on
2.7 Carrera RSs, GT2s, GT3s, GT3 RSs.
It was
like,
amazing. It really
just-
was.
The only thing that wasn't there was a 959, which that would have been
Yeah.
it. But then sitting off on the side was a 356B coupe that looked a little bit ratty. So we walk over to it and look at the thing that's posted on the window inside. It was the only factory works 356B competition coupe that was sold into private hands in period.
And there.
Raced in Europe and then came to the United States and has been raced ever since.
It's
and it's
fantastic.
covered in
And unrestored.
It's
Yeah.
still
covered
good.
in brake dust, covered in grime
Track
and
rash,
all that.
I think-
Everything. Yeah.
But-
It had
and
chips
it's
in the
one of those,
paint,
like,
dents, dings, rubber marks all down the nose.
You walk by it and you're just like, oh, and it's like, no, that is like,
That
It
is that is all marks of true hardcore
Yes.
competition.
Yeah, like I said, and
Yes.
it came to the United States and was SCCA raced ever since.
Right.
Like up until the point we saw it, it was still actively a race
Right.
car.
It is only ever known driving in anger.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
And we're just like, this has to be the coolest thing we'll see ever.
Well, besides the Ferrari that flipped on the
First
didn't even complete the first lap.
Hey, it was
Very-
the last turn of the first
The
lap.
last turn hit the fucking thing upside down, and we're like, let's go walk the pits, and we see it, and we're like,
Well,
oh, man.
actually, no, it was the Nissan prototype that went off first turn.
oh yeah,
lap
yeah,
one, like
true.
took the
literally
like,
straight
took the-
away, straight into
like
the
took the green
tires.
flag and went straight.
I'm not turning. Straight
And,
into the tires.
So then, yeah, a little whiles later, we decided to walk around the pits, and we saw the Nissan being worked on.
We're
and
like,
then-
okay, that's cool. It could be fixed.
And then we walk over, and we see the Ferrari.
And we're like, that's not.
And
gonna
we're
be
looking at
fixed.
it,
It's upside down.
we're like, oh, that car's screwed. And before any of us could say anything else, some drunk guys on a golf cart rolled by, and one of them yells, "Parts car!" And then all the guys in the parts just look at the guy like, "Fuck you."
Ferrari did not like that. Like the Ferrari guys did not like
They
that.
were
at
not
all.
happy about that remark.
But I have to say, the greatest thing about that day was being in that wonderful box that we were
box
in.
that they had,
Oh, that,
Yeah, like I
that
said,
was great.
Yeah.
The Mobile
but,
One, that was.
But the fucking Porsches.
The Porsches.
Oh, like seriously, we were right above the Porsche pit box.
Pits,
It was the two pit boxes. When those 911s came in,
Oh yeah.
got
When
tires.
they tore out.
No,
No,
well,
you
no,
don't
no,
understand.
no.
You don't understand.
It was the shake that happened to the pit to our box was. I can't, like, it wasn't even like an earthquake. Like, it was.
Keep in mind-
like they were in the room. With
So-
us.
Yeah, no.
It was the
We were
craziest
probably-
freaking thing
We were probably from here
to the shed.
to
If not.
a little bit further than the shed, maybe the corner of the property from start finish line.
Mm-hmm.
Like start finish line, and then went past us, and then they dove into turn one.
Mm-hmm.
The Porsche pit, the 911 that we're talking about,
Fire pit.
was underneath us and basically where the couch is from where we were sitting.
Yeah.
And we were in glass with
No.
air conditioning.
And you felt it though.
Glass.
Oh, yeah.
Therizines. Heard it. It was wonderful. Free beer.
That thing,
Amazing.
that thing pulled in, and of course
Kill the
for
girls.
their
Oh
rules,
yeah, true.
they have to shut off, they have to kill the power for their pit stop. So it came in, hit the power, and we heard the air jacks smack the pavement and lift the car up.
And we're like, awesome. They're about to take
Tap,
off.
tap, tap. You know, the air
What
guns
the
are going
fuck's
off.
going on?
They dropped that thing off the jacks, and this thing fired up, and in the room behind the
Angry.
glass,
Angry.
so freaking loud. We're like, holy
Like, no,
shit.
all of us, like
Like-
literally, like, we're like,
We jumped.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
and then just straight to the limiter,
It like
and then bogged down to pit
speed
speed.
limiter.
And
Like
fucking
it was
went.
like, and then it took off, and then even after it hit the exit to the pits, still in our air conditioned room, we'd hear that bitch blat,
Yep.
and off in
But
turn
the
one.
vibration that fucking happened, like, it was the craziest shit that, like, I've ever experienced. Like, it the weirdest sound, like, reverberation.
I actually cannot imagine what that sounded like
In
in
the
the
car.
pits.
In the pit.
In the
yeah.
pits.
Yeah.
Because
probably not as bad because it probably traveled up and was trapped.
and
in
probably
that room.
echoed out the front
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
towards the racetrack, but not only that, I mean, because we heard the car out on track, because when we were taking the trams and going to different parts of the track,
Oh,
we
it
could literally
sounded
stand at the
amazing.
track wall.
Oh yeah.
But we were
The
still
Ford
we were
GT
still a
sounded
good
awful.
we were still a good what, probably 60, 70 feet
feet,
from the track, from the edge of the racing
Yeah.
surface. So, and those were all in open areas, so it wasn't like
Yeah.
they were reverberating off of walls
Right.
and shit like that when they went by.
The Cadillac sounded the best.
Cadillac sounded good.
I'm going to say the C7Rs were
Well,
the most brutal.
It's
they
probably
did,
the same engine.
but the Cadillac prototypes.
Yeah.
Whoa,
The
whoa.
Mazda Skyactiv prototype.
That
That thing
sound-
was ghostly when it went by.
It went like it
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
sounded like
You can
pod.
almost hear the air coming
Yeah.
off it. Kind of, you know?
It sounded like pod racers from episode 1. Like it
And-
was like.
But the
like,
weird
what
thing
the
was,
fuck
like,
that?
and the thing about that track is when it started getting dusk, and it went from daylight to dusk, and then it got full dark. We were out walking around again, and we decided to go out of the box, and we went back through the pits to Sunshine Straight, and
Oh, it was amazing.
there's no lights back there.
Right.
There's the lights in the pit area,
Gonna
but
say,
there's no
afterwards I'll
lights
show
on
you
that
videos.
section of the
It's
track
amazing.
until you see 17A
Uh-huh.
before you go onto the bridge. So all you could see was just
headlights.
headlights
Numbers on the side because the numbers
They're
are all
lit up.
illuminated.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and taillights, and you could hear the cars.
Right.
And
It's the greatest sounds ever.
but here's the thing, though: the Corvette team. Think of a Norse berserker,
I was gonna say it was
Pissed
berserker
off.
sound.
drunk, landing on your shores, intending to pillage your village and rape all your women.
Uh-huh.
That's what
That's
that
what
car.
it's-
That's what it
oh.
sounded like.
And those C7s sounded amazing.
They sounded
Like,
so freaking brutal. And the weird thing was, Like
They weren't even the fastest.
The C7 ZR1s, they're actually detuned from the road car
Yeah.
to go racing, and they still sounded absolutely brutal.
And then you had the 4GTs go by and it's
Blah.
I'm like,
And here's the thing: we went down to the pits, like we stood next to those cars.
they were great cars,
They're-
but then they ran and we're like, oh god, it sounds
They're
like
they're amazing
babes running
cars.
down the track.
They really are. They are truly amazing cars. They're an engineering masterpiece,
But they sound horrible.
but they just sound horrible.
It was the worst sound. Like they go by and it's like, meh. I'm meh.
There goes a GT.
But the weird thing is,
We
like,
knew
the
exactly
weird thing
which
is,
one they were.
but Dave Garton's GT with the full exhaust on it
Sounded good.
Sounds
Yep.
good, you know. But it's
yeah.
weird. But yeah, that was again thanks to his shop and his dealings with Mobile One. We got to go to Sebring, and it was an amazing, absolutely amazing
Yeah.
day.
Oh,
That was an excellent note.
best day at work ever.
Best day at
We
work
did,
ever.
We did do that.
Yes.
We did do that. And then he left me at a gas station.
That was still an excellent ending note, though.
Oh, it was.
It was.
It was.
That
It
was.
I was asleep like a baby.
Yeah, he was.
They had free Coors Banquet. They had banquet
Oh, so
free.
Mike was done.
Oh yeah, we
Done
were.
from
Oh
the
yeah, they
beginning
kept us
on.
fed and watered the whole day.
For sure.
And I'm like, I'm not driving.
Oh,
Sorry.
we ended up we got a whole swag bag and all kinds of stuff. It was great.
Sabrina still wears because it was a XL T-shirt, the Mobile One T-shirt. That
I
we
think she
got.
might have gotten a 2XL because it looked like it would even be big on me or Brian.
No, she wears that for bed. I still wear my Sebring shirt that we bought at the official paddock thing.
Yeah,
And
my
that I
swag
absolutely love.
swag bag T-shirt again, the armpits because of the crutches, and the one that I bought is still hanging in the arm wall with all my concert shirts.
Yeah, no, I wear mine all the time.
I wore
No,
that shirt a couple of times, but it's such a big print on the front that it gets hot.
Well, see, mine's a big print on the back that has every single up until that point. That was 2016,
Yeah,
15.
probably somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think it was 15.
Yeah. So it has every single winner on it on the
yeah.
back.
Okay, yeah.
And
yeah.
it has two 787Bs on there.
And on that note.
And on that note,
On that.
On
note.
On that note, on that bombshell.
so Brian,
Yeah.
thanks for joining us
Yes,
on our
thank you
150th.
so much.
Thanks for having me here. It's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, we will definitely have you back on
All right,
because
for sure.
Like yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I can't believe it
like
took
I said,
150 episodes. For
we
us
need to
have
get you to start saving up and kind of collating all of the because every now and then he will send me pictures of hey check this out.
Oh, yeah.
This
It's
just
like
rolled into the shop.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
kind of stuff. I'm
Exactly.
like, he's got a collection of pictures of stuff that's rolled in there that's amazing.
Maybe we'll do next time you're on. Maybe we'll have a slideshow of it.
There you go.
Just
All right.
Yeah, if you-
gather some of it up. We'll do a
Yeah.
slideshow and talk
All right.
about some.
Yeah,
of it.
when you come on again, we'll email the
so
Pints and
I'll
Pistons thing, and
dig
we
them
can
out.
we
Yeah,
can set it
yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for watching. We'll be
Have a
back
good
in
night.
2
150.
weeks. Happy 150th episode.
Next
Here's
one
to
will be
another
151.
150.
151.
Have a good night.